That's good. Anybody else?
I'll be in a Zoom meeting this Sunday with members of my family. We have 3 brothers and 2 sisters, and all members of our family. My sister in Iowa is hosting the meeting.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah, I think that's really nice when we get down to the personal level that we can pull our families together. I think I'm going to try to do something like that on Easter as well. Last night was the first night that I was able to get my church men's group back together after a few weeks. And I think we had 11 people on last night on that. That felt really good. Felt good to interact with them and see them at the same time. But the real premise behind the question was to make sure that you guys try to get familiar with some of these processes, because even when we come out of this, in the end, you're going to have the capability or the knowledge to be able to do this with people who are out of area, out of state, out of country, and you'll already be acclimated on how to do that. But part of the prospecting format that we've been talking about for months and months also has been how to deliver content or communications in different formats as we prospect also. And I love short burst video clips. Hi, this is Don Jensen over here at Century 21. I know you know who I am. I just wanted to check in on you, see how you're doing, and wish you a great day. Something very simple. Doesn't have to be crazy or anything. You're just letting them know you care and that you're still out there. And then you can touch bases otherwise.
Sonia, you're unmuted. Did you have something you wanted to say? No? Okay. Well, today being Thankful Thursday, we always want to bring you guys good content. And I get daily emails from Tom Ferry. And the one he delivered, I think it was yesterday, just so fitting for today and our theme of being thankful and reaching out to clients. So I wanted to show you guys that video. So let's go to this. Oh, we got a chat. Ken Patel, I can't hear you. Ken, bottom left of your screen is all of your controls. Where you see mute, to the right of that's a little arrow that goes up. Click on that and you can control your speakers. All right, so let's do this.
I don't think he can hear you, so I don't know if he saw those two.
I don't know. Okay. You want to type that in the chat to him then?
Yep.
There you go. Thanks, Mike. All right, everybody, I'm going to mute your stuff here while we get going. Fidel and Rosa are coming in, so let me let them in real quick and then we'll go with our video here. Morning, Fidel and Rosa. Morning, can you hear us? Maybe? All right. Well, let's get this going here.
I don't know how to hear the video.
We can't hear the video.
Okay, hold on. Let's stop share and do this again. Could you see it?
Yes, we could see it. Or I could see it, but I couldn't hear it.
Yeah, same.
Same here.
Well, this may just go south then real quick. I don't know. Let's try this again. Share. Okay, let's try it again. Get ready to text or chat me real quick if you can't hear it.
Nothing.
No.
Let's try this way. Share screen, share computer sound.
Chris, is your headset overriding it?
I don't.
You need to disconnect your
Yeah,
headset.
I could try. Yeah. Nope, we don't want that. So speakers. All right, let's try it now.
No.
See, now that's weird because I can't even hear it. Well, crap. Let's try it this way.
Minds of someone that's thinking about doing something
Yes.
in summer. Maybe they were thinking about doing something in this
Yes.
spring.
There it is.
And because of what's going on in our world, they paused that. But they're still thinking the same two questions. How's the market, pricing, what's going on today? And then how do I time this? And I guess what I would challenge you to do on this very short Tom Ferry show is to think about how where you're answering to the best of your ability the questions that are on the minds of prospects today. A lot of people are talking about, during these times, like, what is the right approach? And I'm old school, right? Having reflected even this morning, writing out my gratitudes on moments in time where things were hard and things were tough and I persevered. Moments in time where it wasn't easy, but I did it anyway and I kept moving forward. There's some people right now that are simply ghosting. And I talk about in leadership. In leadership, the whole game is see things as they are, not making them better and not making them worse, just what is, right? That's a big part of leadership. Like, are transactions being done in your marketplace? Yes or no? If the answer is yes, then you've got some insight there. If the answer is no, you might be the only city in the world that is completely stopped. I don't think that's the case. Seeing things as they are. Rule number 2 is you got to over communicate. You have to over communicate in an environment like this, right? Going dark and hiding, not reaching out to your past clients, not reaching out to your sphere, not reaching out to your family. And hopefully the last couple of weeks, you've done all those personal calls. Hey, Kelsey, I just want to check in. How you doing? What's going on, right? Just to get a sense for where people are at. And honestly, everybody could use that extra sort of love and encouragement and recognition that you care about them. Once you've done that, and I'm assuming you have, it goes back to my 3 rules. Safety first, keep the business moving forward, and make sure that you're loading the cannon, AKA building your pipeline, because this will end. And when it does, as we've said, there's only going to be 2 kinds of agents. Agents that have done all the work, right, and are ready to take their buyers and sellers into the market. And there's going to be the agents that are scrambling because they haven't taken the time to do what I'm going to recommend right now. I believe the most important thing, if you were my mom and you were selling houses, if you were my little brother and you were selling houses, I would tell you right now, the most important thing for you is to be booking 15 to 30 minute Zoom sessions. I don't Google Hangouts, use whatever you want, but Zoom is pretty popular right now. 15 to 30 minute sessions where literally you're reaching out and you're saying, Kelsey, I'm just checking in, a year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, we were talking about timing the market and that you guys wanted to buy a house, right? We were talking about it in the beginning of March, and then what happened stopped you. I'm reaching out now, first check in. How are you? Are you doing okay? Because you got to make sure that the person you're talking to, right, they're okay. Have empathy, right? Have compassion. And then if you're feeling it and it's appropriate, then you say, Kelsey, what I'm doing for my clients right now is I'm scheduling 15 to 30 minute sessions, and we're using this Zoom platform so we can see each other face to face. And then also so I can give you some behind the scenes access. There's really 4 things that I'm showing people right now to help sort of paint the picture of A, how's the market? And B, if you're still in the market, how do you time this situation? So what we're going to look at is, what's happened in history. And what do? You grab the KCM slides and you show them, hey, over the last 5 recessions, here's what's happened to home prices, right? As an example. Then I'm going to show you what the smartest financial institutions and the leaders of those companies are saying right now about this economy in this moment of time, right? Again, you can reference KCM or another that are telling us, here's what the smartest people are saying. The people that are managing trillions of dollars a year, who, if they're wrong, those clients bounce and go to somebody else's bank and they take all their money. So they have to be pretty cautious these days. And then the third thing I'm going to show you is behind the scenes into the MLS, what's going on, what's happening with transactions, what's going on with prices. And I think it's going to shock you. And then because I'm very active in the market and I'm very thoughtful when it comes to serving my customers, I'm tracking the shadow inventory. Now you might ask, what is the shadow inventory, Tom? The shadow inventory is the number of homes that have gone withdrawn just in the last few weeks. And I'm tracking those because if you say to me, boy, that's a really nice house, I recognize it's no longer on the market. Because of my agent-to-agent relationships, I'm going to reach out to those agents and ask about it and see, does their seller want to come back on the market? And maybe there's an opportunity for you to have the first shot at it, as an example. So what would be the best time for us to get 15 or 30 minutes together? You let me know. Now listen, as someone that has watched the Tom Ferry Show for weeks or for years, it's not often that I look you directly in the eyes of the camera and say, listen to me. Now more than ever, if you're not booking 7 to 15 of those appointments every single week and having honest, heartfelt, data-driven conversations about what's going on in your market to educate people. This isn't a sales pitch. This is education. This is helping customers who wanted to buy or wanted to sell, and now they're throwing their hands up in the air and they don't know what to do. This is an opportunity for you to serve. So I'm going to challenge you. 10, 15, 7, 18, you call it. But I want you to declare, how many appointments will you schedule with people via Zoom or Google Hangouts or whatever you choose to use so you can be the one, the voice of reason, the educator, the one that's bringing them the market stats and what's really going on, because disinformation is hurting us, right? The hearsay conversations are hurting us. I talked to another agent, they said no transactions are being done, and you're looking inside the MLS and saying, well, that agent clearly isn't looking inside the MLS. Are transactions being done differently? Yes. Right? Safely? Yes. The right way? Yes. A little out of the box and being resourceful these days? Yes. But done nonetheless. Now is the time, my friend. So, short message, straight to the point, no editing, looking right at you and saying, this is your time. Step up. Be great. Book more appointments, answer more people's questions, connect with them one-on-one. And by the way, if your cat comes into the video or your dog barks in the background or your kids are walking really loud upstairs, none of that matters because that's the new norm today. It's not about perfect, it's about done. That's the game. Have an awesome week, and I'll talk to you next week. Remember always, your strategy matters, and now more than ever, your ability to connect and to answer the questions for people. That's what rules the day. See you soon.
All right. How did everybody like that?
Good.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it was really good. What was one thing that resonated with someone? They want to talk about it.
I got one I noticed right away. I like the dialogue where he said, seeing things as they are. The note that I wrote down at that point was, and we're hearing it across the news right now that, perhaps some restaurants won't open back up or they're handing back their keys right now. Many other companies may be doing the same thing. But when we reference seeing things the way they are, I want to remind everybody, because we get caught in our own boxes sometimes, if we step back and just relate to the fact that what it is that we do, everybody needs a roof over their head tonight. Isn't that true? Seeing things the way they are. Everybody needs a roof over your head tonight. So we're not one of these kind of spotty related services like a restaurant or something. There's lots of options for them to go somewhere else, meaning the store, cook your own food, all this kind of stuff. But when it comes to having a roof over your head, I mean, you really don't have many options. There's not necessarily that many for sale by owners out there. There's not that many people who have rental capabilities reaching out to the public necessarily, maybe Craigslist, things like that. But from a home ownership standpoint or a roof over your head, we are a critical area that people need each and every day. So I just wanted to remind everybody about that.
Okay, what about, let's see, Sonia, what did you think? I'll unmute you.
Hi, I couldn't hear anything. I just barely got the audio on, and so I was fighting with this thing this morning. So I missed most of what he said. But I just heard that it doesn't matter if there's your dog's running around, your kids are upstairs screaming or whatever. It's just a new norm. Just don't worry about it. That's what I heard.
I think that's a pretty true statement, Sonia. I think everybody's living in that right now. So when you talk about dogs and kids and all the other things going on, everybody can relate to that right now. Whereas, prior to that, it might have been, some distractions to the clients or thoughts of you being professional while that's going on. All that stuff's out the door. If you watched any of these late night shows with Jimmy Kimmel or anybody, I mean, the kids are crawling all over him while he's trying to do a segment and everything else. So I thought that was a crack up because everybody can relate.
Yeah, that's good. As long as everybody can understand.
I was watching the local Fox Las Vegas news here, and every single one of the newscasters was in their homes with their big TVs sitting. You could see it sitting on a glass table and the couch behind them, and so
yeah. The lurker here has a comment.
I got a good point out of that. It's serve your clients, serve people. Give them information that's helpful, and they'll come back. They'll remember that. I think that was really important.
Yeah, that's perfect, because at the end of the day, this business is about building relationships. And if you take the time to reach out to everybody in your database just to check in with them and see how they're doing, period, trust me, you will get business off of that. Even if you're not intending to, that's not the point. It will happen because you reached out at that moment just to check in with them as a human being to see how they're doing.
Yeah, and I wanted to kind of piggyback on that one a little bit. I know we heard it over the last week also about reaching out to the clients and giving them things of value. And Kathy's kind of spot on in that category. Let me see if I can share my screen here real quick, Chris.
Which tab is it?
Yeah, right. So I received
Kathy, you'll have to show him how to close tabs later.
So I received this email the other day. This is hosted by Escrow Junction, but Bob Thompson, he's the creator, for any of you who may have ever seen in the past, the market condition report. But here in this particular seminar that's going on webinar later today at 4 o'clock. He's going to dive into by the numbers report. This might be a good one to tune in on, because I think for anybody who's thinking about buying or selling, that that numbers are the thing that we really want to be talking about when these people become active or a little more serious, or that you're just trying to keep them informed when we're talking about drip campaigns and the content of the drip. So I think this is something that, I've heard everything across the board, from the market's going to crash to this is a great time to buy because others aren't paying attention, to less competition from a seller standpoint. But in the end, I think the content that we deliver is as important, if not more, than reaching out to them in itself. So this might be a good one. I'll sling the email maybe over to Chris, and maybe he could put that out. I know we've got 2 different Zoom meetings later today. One right after our meeting here, and then another one also at 4 o'clock. But some of these ones that we're talking about from corporate are repeating. So this one might be a good one to get in on in the afternoon, to look at how to compile some numbers so that you can speak intelligently to clients or deliver the content to them. Because I think this is something that they really want to see more than anything. We can talk the talk, but the numbers are the real meat and potatoes. So let me see if I can share another one here real quick. I think I have to get out of this tab. Uh-oh. What are you seeing right now? It's still that same email, Bob Thompson?
Yeah. Yep. And while Donnie's doing that, just like
can you unshare me for a second?
Yeah. Just like Donnie said, 10 a.m. Register through Century 21 University for open houses from their couch. And then also at 4 o'clock, there's Building Your Sphere of Influence in a Physically Distant World, along with that one webinar that Donnie put up. We got scripts.
Yeah, so this was from last week. For those of you who missed it, if you want to just do a screen print, screenshot, you can capture this stuff. We were talking about Thankful Thursday. We just kind of drafted a couple of different types of scripts, if you would, very, very quick and easy. The last one might be more relevant for most of you thinking of Thankful Thursday.
Second one
and it's
too.
just kind of sympathetic in the beginning, checking in on them, and then calling for the question. If there's anything I can do for you at this time, let me know. So very simple. So I was telling Chris earlier, I was on another Tom Ferry meeting, just scouring through them, trying to find relevant things for where we're at right now. Came across a text one this morning, and his suggestion, and I loved it. I heard this about 30 years ago. He said, as we talk about texting or reaching out to our clients, he says, forget, your most current one. Forget about somebody who is maybe a 6 months or a year ago client, yada, yada, including your friends. He said, just go onto your contact list and start in Z, okay? Because most people gave up in their alphabetical order of clients far before they got halfway, if not to the end. So he said, start with Z and work your way backwards. I got a kick out of that because, like I said, I heard that about 30 years ago. And it was so true. Most people give up along the way if they don't get started at all. So again, it's very easy. Once you copy whatever content it is that you're going to text, save it in a file. And Tom really asked that maybe you slow down a little bit, and just at the beginning, maybe you personalize one of these texts. Maybe in front of the It's Thankful Thursday script you see here, maybe you just say, hi, blank, it's Thankful Thursday. And all you do when you're copy and pasting is personalizing it with, hi, Bob and Mary Smith, something like that. gives it a little better touch. It doesn't take a lot of time, and it's very easy to copy and paste and insert name. So think about that starting at the end and working your way backwards.
Good. All right, we are about out of time. Anybody have anything for the group?
Yeah, Grace wanted me to
Oh.
add, she was listening from her bedroom at time, and she thought the most important thing was to not make it a sales call, to start off with how are they and what's going on with them.
Perfect. Yep. Good morning, Grace.
She says morning.
Morning, Grace.
Good morning.
All right.
Have a good one. Thank you,
All right,
Grace.
guys, you're welcome. You guys, we'll see you tomorrow.
Don't forget to log into that upcoming Zoom meeting.
Yep.
Chris just
Open
mentioned.
houses from the couch. If you need help logging in, give me a call.
Yeah, I really encourage everybody to watch as many of these in this series as you can. They've spent a lot of time developing them, and it's all about succeeding in the current environment that we're in.
Yep.
Yeah. How many people have been sitting on their couch? So you can be doing an
There you
open
go.
house right now.
What'd you say, Shannon?
On those, we were supposed to get a copy of the recorded thing from the one yesterday, but I haven't received it. Are we keeping a copy of those?
I did not get one yesterday either. Now that you say it, from the
It's on the
pricing
university
strategies.
site. It's on the university site, Chris.
Oh, did they put it on there? Awesome. Good.
Yeah, it's on there.
Beautiful thing.
Go
Okay.
quick.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll sling this email over to Chris also on that on the creating the market numbers in a little bit, and I'll see if I can have him send that out for those of you who are interested and maybe watching that later today as well.
All right. We'll see you at the 10 a.m. Century 21 webinar.